Hello, and welcome to my tutorial on how I paint my neck. This isn't how everyone does it, but maybe it'll help you. These are the supplies you'll need. Snazaroo in your preferred color. So here I just have black, white, and red. If you're from the UK, you are super lucky because they're only like 3 or 4 pounds there, and they're like $15 here. They sell them at Michael's. I like to use a matching eyeshadow, or some translucent powder will also work. And your last supply is just going to be a paintbrush. This is a body painting brush. It doesn't necessarily have to be one. I just like to pick one that's kind of flat. It's also a good idea to get your hair out of the way and then take off whatever clothes might be in the way, just so it doesn't smudge all over them. I always have water and a shot glass on my makeup table, and I just use this to dip my brush in so it's nice and wet, and then swirl the brush around in your Snazaroo. You really have to work the brush in there. The more water you put in, the more product you can eventually pick up. Swirling the brush around just picks up more and more pigment, so it's not nearly as transparent. I always start by drawing the line under my ears and around my chin. I just follow under my jawline, but you can be creative with it and literally draw as far up or as low as you'd like to. Don't let anyone tell you there's rules for this kind of thing, because there very, very much is not. And you can do whatever you want. Make it your own. I think the more you do this, the better you get a feel for where you actually want the line to start and end. Now that I've established the line and gotten it all straight, I'm just bringing the black the rest of the way down my neck. Anytime you need more product, just either dip in or add a little more water and it'll kick up more pigment. Since this neck paint is water activated, that does mean that it comes off with water. So you don't want to wear this if you're going to go out in the rain because it will melt off of your skin. It won't completely disappear though, just because of how much pigment is in it. But yeah, it does rub off on clothes as well, so there are other techniques if you're going to be wearing, say, like a white shirt or something, because I definitely would not wear white with a black neck with Snazaroo. It will get stained. The paint is washable, but still, I would be careful. Now I'm just taking this angled contour brush and my eyeshadow, and I'm just packing that shit full of eyeshadow, and then dusting it all over my slightly wet Snazaroo that's on my neck here. It makes it a little bit blacker. It also does kind of pick up a little bit of the product, but if you add more eyeshadow, it'll fix that. It'll even out. Especially because there's black pigment in the eyeshadow as well. It won't fill in the holes if you're using a translucent powder, which is why I usually try to pick an eyeshadow that's the exact same color instead. You can skip this step, but I do find that it's not nearly as opaque if you don't add any powder over top, and it doesn't stay near as long either. If you're going to be wearing a low-cut top or dress, I definitely would pay a lot more attention to the bottom line and where you'd like it to be, but because I'm wearing a t-shirt here today, it doesn't really matter all that much. I just don't want a gap between my neck and where my shirt starts. This has just been the best way for me to paint my neck, personally. I find it so hard to get some of these neck paints back off, but with this one, I just use a simple face cleanser and it melts right off my skin at the end of the night. You can see here that it's a little bit streaky, but if you're more diligent with how you apply your paint, it's going to look more and more opaque. But this is just the feel for today. Thanks for watching!